So I was asked to do a video on how to crochet. The big difference between knitting and crocheting is with crochet you're going to use a hook, and I recommend using like a medium-sized hook when you're first learning, because that'll help you be able to see your stitches and getting in there. So I'm going to show you the first row you're doing is called a chain stitch. So to get started, you're going to make a slip knot. So you're going to take the yarn and loop it around. I have the little tail part. Flip it over the working yarn that's connected to the ball, and then cross over and pull through. So that just made a loop that I can tighten up. So I'm going to tighten it up, not real tight, but pretty tight on my hook here. Okay, so now to do the chain, I'm going to work with my working yarn that's connected to my ball of yarn up here. And I'm going to hold on to the tail with my thumb and my middle fingers where I hold on there. So I'm going to take the hook, get my working yarn, and pull it through that loop, creating a new loop. And notice I'm keeping it very loose as I go. If this is hard to do for you with the hook, you can also do it with your fingers. I've taught a lot of people to do it like this. I always used to do it for my grandma when I was a little girl. So you can just make it as wide as you need to pull it through with your fingers, and then pull it down tighter, not real tight. You still want to keep it loose. But you can do that, and then just pull that loop back down tighter. Okay, so I'm not going to do much more because the second row is pretty difficult. So you'll want to chain as wide as you want your piece to be.
Peace.
Get out of here. Sorry, that was Ella. Okay, so you're going to skip your first loop on your chain to get into your second row. So you're going to go into this loop right here, and you want to make sure that you have 2 pieces of your loop on the top of your needle, and then or on your hook, and then 1 on the back. Again, I'm keeping this pretty loose, okay? I'm going to pull through my chain, and I have 2 loops now on my hook, and I'm going to pull, this is my working yarn, pull it through those 2, so I only have 1. Once I have 1 left on my hook, I'm going to go back into my chain, and again, remember I've got 2 on top and 1 on the back. Pull the working yarn through the chain, and then pull the working yarn through my loops. I have to do that a couple more times to finish up this second row. Again, this second row is the hardest, so if it's hard getting yourself in that little bitty chain, don't feel bad. It is hard for me too. But once you finish this second row, this is my last stitch on this row, so I'll talk you through it one more time. So you go into the chain, and you've got 2 on top and 1 on the bottom, and you want to pull through the chain and then pull through those loops. Now I think from here on out you're going to do it the same every row, and I think it gets a lot easier. So you can kind of see this looks like a little braid, the top row where I'm working, and you're always going to go through. This is really the same thing you were doing with the chain, but it was just so little, it was hard to get your hook in and out. Now it's going to be easier because you've got more to hold on to, more to work with. So you're still going to go in so that you have the 2 pieces on top that kind of makes that little V of your braid. So you're going into your piece and pulling through, pull your working yarn through the